what's been up?
Oh my goodness.
Everything and anything.
We had our mid-season meet this week.
Yeah, how'd it go?
And it went good. We won.
Smacked on.
We kind of did.
Yeah.
We won by almost 200 points.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
Oh my gosh.
Did I tell you this? I went up to Claire, one of the Iowa divers, and I was like, "Are your swimmers tapered for this?"
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Yeah, are yours?" And I was like, "Not really." And she was like, "Oh, that's reassuring."
Well, that was the joke going into it, was that even Pat was like, "This is gonna be a nightmare. Everyone's tapering. We're not tapered whatsoever." Like,
well, didn't y'all kind of like drop taper?
we kind of did do a drop taper, like the Monday, like, so we left on Wednesday, the Monday, Tuesday, or that Saturday, Monday, Tuesday was just swimming once a day, and it was like 2 hours. And I mean, like,
that's not really a taper though.
No, it was, I mean, like, we were like rested, but it
slight
taper, but it definitely was not like the kind of taper that has you feeling good even at the end of a race.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, going into it, and during one of our team meetings when Pablo first told us, like, look, like, we're not resting, we're not tapering. So some of you may struggle, some of you may do okay, but some of you will struggle, and then
we're all just like whipping out best times.
Yeah, so it was like a really good, nice surprise to see everybody do so well, both diving and swimming.
Yeah.
Do you guys credit that to your conditioning?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because that's impressive that you guys were able to come out like that. I mean, I know you guys do like crazy workouts and conditioning. Has it always been this intense with your conditioning, or is this year, do you feel like it's taken up a notch?
At least on the swimming side, it's definitely been taken up a notch because we've changed the way overall training, like the groups that we split into, and like how often we're in the weight room, and like the timing of the practices and stuff has significantly changed. So I'd say like it's definitely all because of that, which is a good thing.
Yeah, because you guys dominated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys PR by chance?
I did.
Or PB?
Mm-hmm. I did. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys were on fire.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's my high of the week. I broke 300 for the first time on 3 meter.
Nice. Well, if you guys have any questions for these guys, we got a swimmer and a diver here in Reagan Hinsey and Madison Ronquillo. You can hit up the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, or you can call in as well at the Honda of Lincoln hotline 402-464-5685. So you guys both got personal best. What dive? You said it was off the 3 meter?
Yeah, on 3 meter.
What was the dive?
It was just total score. I got my personal best total score.
Nice.
On 3 meter.
Was there one dive where you're like, ooh, that's so good?
My front 2.5 actually was the highest it's ever scored. I got 54, and I usually get like 48, 49 on it. So that was pretty good, but like it was probably one of my most consistent lists. Okay. Like I didn't really like extremely hit anything, but I also didn't like get like 19 points on a dive. So like I'll take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to like when you said, will you credit it to your conditioning and stuff, and you were like, I think we've taken it up a notch. I think divers have taken it down a notch, because I feel like in the past, like we've just trained so hard that by the time you get to the meet, you're already fatigued.
Yeah.
And I feel like we took it down a notch to where it's like that sweet spot to like, you are tired by the last day of the meet, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I can't walk up the stairs to 10 meter. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd throw off your dive. You'd have quite a bit of splash if you're exhausted and you're just you can't perform correctly.
So I'd say we like found the balance.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you took it down a notch and you guys took it up a notch.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, it worked. Shout out to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize that other teams were kind of laying off the gas, getting ready for that. And then you guys came in there and just blew the doors off.
Oh, yeah. Well, this meet was like, it was us, Illinois, Rutgers, and Iowa. And then there were a couple more schools for diving only, but like it was basically a mini Big Tens.
Yeah, like a women's only Big Tens.
And so Pat and Pablo were talking, and they're like, everybody's super tapered for this meet because they want to win because it's a practice Big Tens.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, lights out.
Goodbye.
And swim swam was pretty petty. Was like after the first day we were winning after the first day, and they were like, Nebraska is winning despite not winning a single event, and we were like, oh, but we went 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
in every event.
Swim hates us for some reason. Like, they also didn't cover any other day of the meet.
No,
only that first day.
Just the first day?
Just the first day.
Just to make that one jab at you and then not talk about you guys dominating the rest of the meet?
Yep.
Classic.
Yep.
Well, the first day we were only winning by like 5.5 points. And then the second day we were winning by over 200. So.
Yeah.
That's insane. So what was your second day like? Your second day must have just been incredible to watch.
On diving side or swimming side?
Well, you said you guys were up 200. You were only up by like what, 10 the first day? You said 10 or 5?
Like 5.5 or
5.5.
something.
And then the second day you were up by 200. I'd imagine that second day it was awesome on both sides.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Sure. Well, at least on the swimming side, it was a lot of events on that day. So then there was that. But then also, like, so the top 2 heats, so everyone swims, and then they take the top 16 coming back, and those top 16 will score. So the A and B final. And in each event, since we weren't tapered, okay, so usually when you are tapered, you're only swimming like one event a day. But when we're not tapered, like how we were at Invite, the coaches will easily put almost everybody in like 2 events a day. And so the fact that that everyone was swimming 2 events a day was putting like 5 people in each event. And then all 5 of those people would make the A final. And there's only 8 people in the A final. So there's like 5 Nebraska swimmers and then like 3 like from any other team. And so like the fact that there was just 5 people in the heat to begin with, like already puts you at like a crazy advantage. Because like no matter how well you place, like you're getting more points than any other team possible. Yeah. And so that's and for that to happen every single event too, like so it just that's how we got up so far.
Yeah. And then on the diving side, the first day was 1 meter and all of the divers qualified for B final. Kelsey actually won B final, but we went like 1, 5, and 7 in B final or something, which is great.
Yeah.
But 3 meter day, we had one of us in B final and then we had 2 of us in A final and we went 3, 4. So that helped too. Like that got a lot more points than if we went 3, 4 in B final.
And the thing with like the way that the invites are scored versus dual meets. So dual meets, in order to win a dual meet, you have to win the event. Like there's no way you could win a dual meet by getting like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, like stacking up under there. You have to win it. Whereas
because like winning is like 9 points, right? And second is 4.
Yes.
In a dual meet.
Yeah. So there's no way like you can catch up just getting like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But invite, it's all about depth. And like sure, like it's good to like win the event. But the way that you're going to win the meet is by getting in those like other swimmers too, as high as you can.
If that makes sense. Yeah, you want to make sure you get into that group B, at least group A. And like you said, if you just have numbers, it's pretty much impossible for those other teams to catch up, even if they happen to get first.
Yep.
Did any of the swimmers get first in their races in the Class A or Group A?
Yeah.
We had a couple relays, and then Maya the last day, Shannon. And a 2 fly.
Yeah, Shannon 2 fly, Maya 2 breast. Joe, no, she got 2nd. Yeah.
You think if that was dual meet style, you'd still win that one?
I think we still would have won. It would have been a lot closer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've already had a duel against Iowa.
Our
duel against Illinois is in January. And our duel against Rutgers is in February.
How do you kind of see those teams in the Big Ten and their swim and dive programs? Are those any juggernauts up in there? Or are those all just strong teams, but maybe not the best team?
I'd say us and Rutgers are pretty close. That's always who we battle with at Big Ten.
Rutgers. I can see Rutgers being a good swim and dive school.
Yeah, and the old dive coach went there. So now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, I see her at meets, and I absolutely adore her.
Yeah.
But, like, her dive team is stacked. It's insane.
Well, because they have that one girl from Mizzou now, right? Or something.
She's the only, like, girl on that team from the U.S.
Oh.
She's the only diver from the U.S.
Interesting.
That surprises me.
Well, I mean, that whole team is, like, basically international.
Well, yeah. I was talking to somebody about this. I was like, it's so weird because, like, Natasha would never recruit internationals from, like, at Nebraska. Like, she wouldn't even try. And then now at Rutgers, she's got 2 Brits, a South African, an Italian, and a girl from Alaska. So, like, yeah, that's where the girl from Mizzou's from.
It's probably hard to recruit foreigners to, like, Nebraska.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's a little trickier. It's like, no, you're going to come out here in Nebraska and be like, where?
And I mean, Rutgers is very big on internationals.
Yeah.
As is, like swimming side too.
Because I feel like they're just in that sweet spot where you're up in that Northeast area. I don't know. It's hard to tell because I think there's only about 13% of collegiate athletes are international. So it's about 20,000 international athletes. So it's pretty impressive. How many international students do we have in our swim and dive program? It's not a lot, I don't think.
3 Brits and an Italian.
Yeah.
4.
Is that usually high, or is that usually what you guys have, about 4? I guess I feel like we don't usually get a ton of international students.
That's kind of high.
Yeah.
But we have 4 more coming in 4 or 5 more coming in next year.
Yeah. Like one coming from Hungary.
And then we have Italy.
Another British girl.
Another Brit.
And there's one more.
Germany. But she's a junior.
Oh, yeah.
You got one coming from Hungary?
Yeah.
That's
I'm going to
cool.
look it up.
Her name's Beatrix.
Beatrix? That's a sick name.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah.
Greece.
Anna.
Yes.
I can see Greece. I can see. I'm trying to think. Hungary. They don't touch any body of water, do they? Or are they touching?
I have no idea. My geography knowledge of Eastern Europe.
I know where they're at. I'm trying to think if they're landlocked or not. I don't think they are. But either way, that's kind of interesting that you guys have some international students. Another wave of international students coming through. I guess. Do you want to save highs and lows for next segment, or do you want to do this segment?
Well, do you have anything else to say about the meet?
Yeah, before we move out of this meet discussion.
Kelsey won tower.
Yeah.
Kicked butt.
Did she?
There was one dive. I'm not even kidding you. There was one dive because I was just watching. I didn't compete tower this meet. But there was one dive she was doing. It was her gainer 2.5 on 10 meter. And she kicked out early. And I was like, oh, no. And then it was like absolutely disappeared. Like she snuck it in. And I go up to her and I was like, you sly dog. She's like, yeah, I know I kicked out early.
That's impressive. Did you whip out any new dives?
No. Me or Kelsey didn't.
Okay.
I don't think any of us did because Kelsey was going to compete a new dive and it just wasn't looking right in the warm up. So we just changed it back to what she had originally.
That's probably smart. Do you plan on working any new dives in?
Oh yeah. Okay. This is training period now. We don't have a meet until for another month and a half.
Yeah. We got that break coming up. So
it's prime training time.
I'm so excited for school to be done.
Me too, man.
Yeah, it's getting to the stressful weeks now as well.
Yeah.
It's going to pick up.
Yeah, and we were gone for Thanksgiving, and then we were back for 2 days, and then we left again for mid-season.
How does that work, trying to get your schoolwork done when you're just constantly not around school?
No, it doesn't happen.
You just cram when you get back?
You try as much as you can. But, for me, I was like, okay, I have a couple papers to write, and then I have a singing assignment. And I was like,
oh my gosh, wait, Emily told me about this. She just heard you singing in the room.
She was taking a shower, so I was like, I'm going to do it while she's in the shower. And then she left, and I was like, I'm going to finish it. Because, the second day or something, y'all left at 3. And we left at 4. And I was like, all right, I got an hour to do this. Because I'm like, I'm not going to annoy her when she's in a room trying to sleep. And I'm just like, oh.
No.
So.
We actually do have a caller if you guys want to take it right now.
Sure.
All right, you're on 93.7 The Ticket. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, just wondered how and this seems like a dumb question, but how do you deal with swimmers here? Let's casual swimmers get that. You go on vacation with the family. Sometimes the girls will get that, but how is that? Is that something you have to deal with a lot? And otherwise, keep up the good work, and there's bright days ahead for Husker swimming. Hopefully, a new facility in the next few years, but that should have been done 5 years ago. But anyway, keep up the good work. Good show. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So you asked swimmers here. You guys ever deal with it?
Oh yeah.
Really?
All the time.
Yeah. Especially swimming to swimming in a new pool that I haven't been in for a while, and just being in that different water.
I thought of a new talking point, but we get it a lot. We have to use. I don't know if you just suck it up and deal with it, but we use earplugs because the deeper we go, the pressure hurts real bad.
Yeah, that's a good question. If you guys want to continue to chime in, Honda of Lincoln hotline 402-464-5685 or Starter Hammond text line, same number 402-464-5685. Also got one from Rubber Duck, says, is swimming and diving more popular overseas than in the US?
Diving as a whole is kind of small. Like, it's one of the most watched sports at the Olympics, but like as a whole, compared to swimming, it's tiny.
I can believe that because I remember, I think it was the Philippines dive team, and they just tried to find a bunch of guys that wanted to do it, basically. Yeah. They didn't really have a team, and you could tell like they weren't competing on the not even a D1 college level. Like they just, it's not something they really did, but they needed people for the event. So I can believe diving being in a very selective pool of countries that really excel at it.
Yeah.
Swimming, probably more round.
Swimming, like it is very popular in other countries. Like other countries do have like their national teams like stacked up.
Yeah.
It's definitely normal for countries to have a national team, but I would say like America has the most like extensive swimming programs for non-professional athletes. Like you have more of a chance to swim here longer than you would in another country, like because like other countries don't have the NCAA or like any other kind of collegiate
that makes
system.
Sense.
And so like you either like swim club and you go professional or you just stop swimming. Whereas here, like you can continue on swimming through college and then you also have more of a chance to compete at higher level.
Let me put it this way. Swimming, there's a lot more access to.
Yeah,
so if that puts it into perspective, like
you just need water.
There are a good number of people that do diving or that dive. Wow, that sentence did not make sense. But like she said, there are still our national teams, and there's still a select pool that's like phenomenal from every country. So it's like it's not uncommon, but it's not one of the biggest. It's not soccer.
Yeah, soccer, you just need a ball and you can make a goalpost out of anything.
Yeah.
Diving, you need a pool that's deep enough, and then you need towers. And even some of our towers have bees on them. So hopefully our caller's dreams come true and we get a new facility for you guys at some point. But that's, finish the football one first, right? So we got that coming down the pipeline. Like I said, if you guys want to continue to chime in here, 402-464-5685, we're getting some good questions coming in. This is the Deep End on 937 The Ticket. I'm Harrison Arns, Reagan Hinsey, and Madison Ronquillo across the board, or across the table from me. Before we get going, we got about 5 more minutes in this segment. Is there anything else from that meet that you guys really want to take away?
The chlorine was so bad. I'm not even kidding.
How so?
Like my face burned after the first practice. Like I feel like I have scales on my face right now because my face is so dry.
I felt like I had a sunburn after swimming in that pool for 30 minutes.
That always surprises me because I feel like it should always be the same chlorine level, or within, like, obviously they have guidelines. It can't be this high or this low.
I mean,
but it seems like it was pretty high. Your guys' face was burning that fast.
They amp it up for meets, but like, it was to the point where you put moisturizer on and it burns to put moisturizer on. And so I'm not even kidding. Like by the second day of competition, I was putting Vaseline on my face before I got in the water and just like not touching my face to wipe it off or anything. So the chlorine eats away at the Vaseline and not my skin.
It was that strong, huh?
Yeah.
I had to slather like my entire like cheeks and like lips in Vaseline and my eyebrows. I itched my eyebrow and like 3 hairs fell off.
Oh my gosh.
This is not correct. And so then I had to put Vaseline on there too. But yeah.
So was all the teams doing that? Was everyone pretty aware how high? So you just look around, everyone has like glistening faces because they're just putting Vaseline all over.
Oh yeah. On the bus last night on the way home, some people would occasionally like flash their light because they're like taking a video and everyone's face is just like shiny.
You just see petroleum jelly.
It was so bad. It was just like no amount of moisturizer could fix it because like it's an unspoken rule, at least for diving, you do not put lotion on at meets. Like you can put it on your face, but if you put it on your body, then like you jump in the water and it like even if the lotion like seeps into your skin, it's gonna come back out and then you're gonna wipe off with your chamois and then your chamois gonna get all slippery because of the lotion, and it's just like a cycle. So like even if the chlorine levels are bad, you don't put lotion on except for on your face.
Have you guys ever been to a meet where there's been like an intermission because the chemicals were off in a pool?
No.
Really? So it's not. just feel like if it was like that bad, and I noticed like, hey, everyone has a Vaseline all over their bodies. Maybe we should take like a 10-minute break and let's figure out this chlorine, or just you can put stuff in it takes down the chlorine.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not gonna fix it in 10 minutes.
Half an hour. I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends how big the body of water is. If it's a pool like that, maybe it would have to take like a whole hour. I guess you're probably just stuck with it. Maybe that's why they don't touch it.
It's just one of those things they tell you to suck it up.
Yeah,
you're
that's
fine.
true. Caitlin asks, and why do they amp it up for meets?
More swimmers in the pool.
I actually didn't know that they amp it up for the meets.
Oh, I was told like when I was like 7 that they amp it up for meets.
Oh,
that makes sense. I could believe it. A lot of people in and out of the water.
More swimmers in the pool, more people in the pool, more opportunity to pee in the pool. So you need more chlorine to balance out the pee.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Very true.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you guys ever get like it's so bad that you just like are straight burns that take multiple days to go away?
Oh yeah,
my legs are still burning.
Really?
Like even right now.
As soon as I got home, the first thing I did was run upstairs and put lotion on, and I needed like 6 layers.
Is that the only thing you can do? Is just moisturize?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's brutal. Well, hopefully after your break here, the next meet you come back, chlorine's a little better, because that sounds tough. I would hate to try to swim around. I hate the feel of petroleum jelly already. I can't imagine having to smear that all over just because I'm getting burned that bad from the chlorine. How's your hair? I'd imagine that's not great for their hair either.
Well, it's actually not. My hair actually didn't get that bad this time. Usually though, like it turns into like a matted mess. Just
brittle,
and like also like putting my cap like off and on and like ripping it off like that. So
I don't know. I think my hair's fine. My hair's very thin. So like the swimmers go like morning practice, afternoon practice without showering and like washing their hair. And most of the time they're fine. But like if I don't shower and wash my hair after I get out of the pool, my hair gets crunchy. And so it's like gross. And then if I get in the pool again, then I can't brush it out because it's so like just chlorinated. Yeah. So I have to wash it every time.
That makes sense. Yeah, I thought I'd ask because I remember last meet. Maybe it wasn't the last one, but you had one where it was the same thing, high chlorine, and you guys were talking about your hair being just absolutely shriveled up just from getting dried out that bad. But this is the Deep End here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Harrison Irons running the board, and we got host across the table, Reagan Hinsey and Madison Ronquillo. We'll be back right after this break.